like, dude, Portland, the Blazers.
Yeah,
What's
so
going
let
on
me,
up there?
for anyone watching, I'm going to fill you all in. So the Portland Trailblazers, are in a dispute over a $600 million renovation of the Moda Center, and they're trying to renovate it, but they're trying to figure out who's going to pay for it, and they're working with the city of Portland, and clearly it sounds like the owner doesn't want to front the bill for it, which I get, 600 million. But at the same time, new owner came in March, 4.25. Clearly wrote that wrong. 4.25 million meant 4.25 billion is what he paid for in March. And they're talking about potential relocation of this team. I know when we were trying to fix things, you went first. Let me talk a little bit about it. I think it's two landing spots if they move. I think it's either Vegas, which I keep seeing the news articles about the NBA getting ready for Vegas, but they're also talking about relocation, like not relocation, expansion. So that could come from that. But I think it's either Vegas or I think it's Kansas City. I think Kansas City, it's time they get a team. I
Kansas
think,
City.
yeah, Kansas City was in the talks when they were talking about expansion. They were talking about Vegas, they were talking about Seattle. If I remember right, it was Kansas City. Dude,
Yeah.
Kansas City's been having all the success with Patrick Mahomes over the years. The Royals, obviously, they can't. I'm not the greatest on my baseball knowledge in terms of how they've done in the playoffs. They got Bobby Witt Jr. Obviously, it's making that team look good and pop. But dude, I think Kansas City could potentially have a team too. Like,
No,
what are
dude.
your thoughts? Do you think it? Well, that's what I'm saying too. But what are your thoughts on Portland
Yeah.
potentially moving? Do they move? Where would they go?
No, I mean, I don't think they move at all. Like,
You don't think
I
they move
think
at all? Okay,
no, I think it's a cutthroat like tactic. He's just trying to
yeah,
like
playing
leverage
hardball. Yeah,
he's trying to play hardball and leverages the relationship with the community and how he thinks that the fans are going to riot to keep Portland the Blazers there.
yeah,
Um, but I just think that this is a little bit of a miscalculation, and like they're not going to riot in the way that he's thinking, where they're going to
yeah,
rally behind, like saying, "Give them the arena. We want the Blazers." I think they're
yeah.
going to rally behind the city and say,
Oh
"Like,
yeah.
dude,
People don't
like,
want to pay that. People
yeah,
don't
we're
want to pay a
like,
tax on
you
that.
pay for your own arena. Don't take our team. They've been here for decades. Like, fuck off."
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like the he did so he owns the Carolina Hurricanes, and he did a similar thing with them where like he
Mhm.
came in and had cut all these costs and cut all these people and had all these demands and like
Yeah.
it might work with hockey. And I don't really know too much about the NHL. I know that
Same here.
the fan base isn't as established in
Yep.
for the Hurricanes as it is for the Blazers, so that's going to be a different kind of relationship with the community. So that's
Mhm.
one thing that he has to consider. Um, and two, the NBA is just such a star-driven, player-driven league in ways that only like really you can compare it as like the MLB. Like I think the MLB is a
Mhm.
very player-driven league. The NFL is
Yep.
starting to go move that way. Again, don't know too much about the NHL, but like it's just not, it doesn't work like that. And like he's gonna put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. And like
Yep.
the players talk, and there are franchises that they have a hard time signing players, and part of that is because like they're not fun to be there, especially when they're not good. So they're not good and they're not fun to be there. Like why am I going there?
Yeah.
Which is why
What's
like
taking you up to Portland? Yeah.
yeah, like you have some teams like inexplicably they are able to sign free agents even when they're not good, even
Yep.
even if they're not a
The
super great
more desirable
destination.
theme, city,
Yeah, like the
players to
Spurs,
play with,
they're able to
management.
land free agents pretty good free agents too, and
Yeah.
like it's not, it's because they're an enjoyable franchise to play for
Yeah.
even when they're bad. And like you don't want to set that reputation. Like what they did Thiago Splitter, that was so
Mhm.
unreal. And then giving a 1 year prove it deal to your coach that you're now high, like dude, miss me with that. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. But the relocation is also wild. Like I don't think it's going to Vegas. He's already passed up on the opportunity to own a Vegas expansion team.
Mhm.
So like that's kind of out there for me. I think Seattle makes sense if he was to leave, but I don't think they leave at all. I also just hate that this is even going on. Like this is such a bad look for Portland. This is such a bad cloud to have over the Blazers during the offseason as they're coming off a pretty good year for all things considered,
Mhm.
especially where they were supposed to be. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I was looking at it, dude. This was Port. I mean, they barely were above 500. It was 42-40 was the record. This was the first year with a winning record since I think it was the 2020-21 season, or it might have been I think it was the twenty
it's
twenty
been a
twenty one
couple of years,
twenty one
probably when
season. Yeah,
Giroux
it's been a
left.
few years. And yeah, obviously it was before Chauncey Billups. And like this was his team coming into it before the whole scandal. Thiago Splitters stepped in, I think it said October 23rd is when he came in
Yeah,
and
he came
taking
in
the
like before
team.
last year. or like
Correct.
at the
Yeah.
start of last year.
Into oh yeah, that happened during the offseason with
Something like
Chauncey, I
it's either
believe.
like it was like right
Yeah,
around the
it's like
start of the
right
year,
before something,
before
and
or
which makes
after.
sense. Obviously, if he stepped in as interim in late October, that makes sense.
Yep.
But dude, coming in, stepping in as the interim head coach, giving them a winning record despite not really having too much to work with. Like they had Denny. I mean,
I think they have a lot of
some.
talent. I actually like that team.
I'm sorry because you got Cleaning. Cleaning stepped up
You
this
got
past year.
Klingon, you
Yeah,
got
obviously.
Denny, Sharp looks
Yeah,
solid. Kamara, I mean, he's not like a
yeah,
world beater, but good
yeah.
player.
You're right. They've got some players that are on the rise, but like in terms of like it's not the most enticing team to step in as a head coach and be, but those are also, I guess, the teams where it's like if you're not expecting too much, the ceiling is not the expectations aren't too high, and I guess you can do as much as you
No,
want and
dude,
kind
his
of see where it goes.
expectation is high.
You think so?
Yeah, he wants to make play. I think he said it. Like he wants to make playoffs or something. And like,
No,
I mean,
I'm sorry,
especially when they're
I'm
coming.
sorry, Garen. What I mean by that, the expectation from fans and stuff is not that high from Portland. Him,
I mean,
yes.
why?
Sorry, I
I think
mean,
it should be. Why would? I mean,
you think so?
You're coming off like a
I can't
promising
imagine Portland
season.
fans were that excited coming into last year like they did.
Yeah, that last. But then you have the way the year went. Like they played
No,
really
no.
well. They
That
make.
okay. That's where I think we're kind of disconnected on coming into last year when Thiago Splitters stepped in as the
Oh yeah,
interim
yeah,
head
yeah,
coach. The expectations weren't there. Yes, now
yeah,
they are.
yeah.
Sorry, that's where we got a little bit off track. Yeah.
Yeah,
Coming
no,
into
but
last
so
year,
that's
they weren't that high, and they had a winning record, which it's like
yeah, and
interim
like
head
I think
coach. He
that's got
wasn't
to earn you
expecting
a
it. Yeah,
job. That's got to earn
correct.
you a
That's why he's
job.
in Chicago now. Yeah.
And like obviously somebody thought it was good enough. And like
Um,
and then like
I think
you
he's
don't
great.
even
I think he's a
you don't
great pick
even
for
get a
Chicago.
second year, and then now you're going to bring in a guy as a first year head coach and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
first year head coach, take over this team with playoff expectations."
Yeah, yeah.
Like I mean,
I'm
I
glad
get
we
it. Like
got ourselves back on the same track. Yeah, because we're feeling the same thing. We're just coming at it a
yeah,
different way.
no,
But
it's
yeah,
just crazy.
yeah, it
And
was.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think they should have retained him. Obviously, they should have retained
It'll
him, given him at least a few years to work with it. Like
yeah,
I don't know.
it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But like yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
good for Chicago though.
so.
Good for Chicago. I think they'll be good this year with that.